In this video, we will explore the market realities to the Portland, Vancouver area. Will the market crash? Is it really as hard to buy a home in the area as I hear? And we're going to get after this right now. Hey there! My free videos take between 5 and 20 hours each to produce. YouTube judges my videos by subscribes, likes, shares, and watch time. I ask for all my hard work that you use those buttons and allow the video to run to completion. Thank you. You know, really the biggest driving force that dictates the market is the supply and demand. The supply remains low in the Portland, Vancouver area, and the demand remains high. We are not building enough homes for the demand of people wanting to move to the area. As long as we have low inventory, the prices will continue to go up. Interest rates are low, and this is also driving demand. Mortgage professionals believe that the interest rates will remain stable for at least the next 18 to 24 months. So between supply and demand and the interest rates, we believe that the Portland, Vancouver area is going to remain a hot commodity, and the bubble is not going to burst here. Also consider that on the West Coast, we have the cheapest prices of any major city. Seattle's median home price is almost double Portland. The San Francisco Bay Area and Los Angeles is 3 to 4 times what Portland is. So I hate to say this, but Portland is a bargain. Let's look at an overview of the market in the Portland, Vancouver area. Inventory is measured by taking the number of homes that are on the market currently and comparing that with the pace that they are selling. And without adding any new homes to the market, this number is 0.7 months, 7/10 of 1 month. I've never seen it this low before. I've seen it as high as 8 months of inventory years ago, but this is a serious seller's market. We have more buyers than we have sellers right now, and what's driving that primarily are the low interest rates. And again, we're not building enough homes to fuel the demand. There are some micro markets that are not as competitive as the average. The downtown Portland high-rise condo market is soft right now. There's lots of inventory. If this is an area that you're looking to buy in, the Pearl is your oyster. Prices have come down in the Pearl about 30% in the last year. And so I believe that in the long run, this is going to prove to be an excellent investment opportunity. Another area that offers lower than average inventory opportunity is in the luxury market, generally over $1 million. The median home priced homes at $450,000 are really about the most competitive market in the Portland, Vancouver area. But as we get more expensive, the market becomes less competitive. Another area that has a fair amount of inventory is the floating home communities. There aren't as many financing options for floating homes. These are conventional loans that require a 20% down payment or cash. And because of that, and also because it is a purchase that is dictated by a specific lifestyle, you have to like the water, this has to be your lifestyle, there are fewer people looking to buy floating homes. But this is an awesome opportunity. I happen to live in a floating home, and this is an awesome opportunity, an awesome time to buy one right now. The last segment of the market that has fair opportunity is new construction. Now, you're not going to walk in and just buy a new construction home off the shelf and move into it next week. No, you're going to have to get into contract at wherever the home is in the process of being built. This could be anywhere from proposed and 9 to 12 months out to half built and 3 months out. But the point is, you're going to be able to dictate a lot of the finishes and have it really be a home customized to your specific needs. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is setting your expectation. Number one, is this the right time to buy a home in the Portland, Vancouver market? The answer is, if this is the right time for you, it is the right time to buy. Let's not let the market dictate whether this is the right time to buy or not. This should be a decision based on your readiness to move. Now again, I do not believe that the market is ready for a crash, and so I believe it is a safe investment opportunity as well as a good time to buy a home. The claims that the bubble's ready to burst may be true in some other cities that have especially been overbuilt, or they just cycle between hot and cold regularly, and Portland is neither of these. Most home buyers do not link into the realities of the home buying process in today's home market. I don't want to insult anybody, but I also do not want to mislead anyone as to the difficulty of buying in this market. You've more than likely bought a home before, and we typically draw off past experiences to guide us in our future ones. When I recommend preparing yourselves to position you in the best possible light to potential sellers, sometimes I get, I don't need to do that. These realtors are all the same. He's just trying to make it easy on himself and make a quick buck. Well, that's not true. It is true that I do try to make things easy on myself, but in the process, I make it easier for my clients. Let me ask, how many trips do you want to make to the Portland, Vancouver area to get a home into contract? Do you want to go home defeated 3 or 4 times and come back, fly into Portland, and start the process all over? Or do you want to position yourself for success? I don't want you to become frustrated with the process of buying a home. So please consider that your experiences are probably years old, and if not from this market, they're really not valid. I draw off my ever-changing perspective, which means my awareness for the market is ever-changing. And tomorrow's awareness may be different than today's. That is one benefit of dealing with a professional real estate team that is on the cutting edge. I align myself with industry professionals / partners that have proven their abilities to me. Mortgage brokers, inspectors, escrow agents, specialty contractors. If the inspector flags a concern on the inspection, we want to have reliable and reputable contractors to take a look at the issue. All of these team members are involved with me because they offer value to my clients. I receive no kickback. They all stand on their own merit because of the value they bring to my clients. So now let's get started with some specifics. Don't get your hopes up too fast when looking at homes. Don't start running through your mind the kind of window coverings you're going to put in or how you're going to paint it. Don't get emotionally attached to the homes that you look at initially. In fact, you are better off to take a little bit of a whatever attitude while looking at your homes. Don't waste time on unnecessary details. Don't circle back to the ones that got away and look to see if they're still on the market or not. Look to see if they finally sold. This really is waste intellectual effort. So people in this market make on the average of 5 offers before they get into contract. We can beat those odds by working smart. I have many offers accepted on the first try. The most offers I have made on a home before I had one accepted for a client is 5. And this was a first-time home buyer with 0 down and 0 closing costs, USDA loan at $300,000. This is a really tough assignment. And his first 3 offers went against my advice, asking for concessions. But if somebody asks me to make an offer, I will not refuse. That's not my job. My job is to direct based on my experience. And if they think that making an offer contrary to my advice makes sense, then I will make it. But generally speaking, these clients reserve the right to get smarter. And that was the case with this young person in this $300,000 home. His 4th offer was a good one. It just didn't get accepted. And his 5th offer was accepted. So sometimes it takes a few rejections to bring a client to reality. So that brings us to working smart. Cash buyers may be asked for proof of funds before they can even view a home. I see this most in the luxury homes, the ones over $1 million, especially the ones getting close to $2 million. Some of the realtors and the owners have a bit of an elitist attitude, and I don't like this, but ultimately the homeowner has the key to the gate. And I have no permission to show a property without permission from the homeowner through the realtor. Even though I have the physical ability to get into the home, I don't have the authority to do so. So in many cases, my clients will not provide financial information to somebody just to look at a home, and I don't blame them. And we just don't look at that one. I always put my clients' needs first, but I also encourage cooperation because both sides share an equal level of anxiety. Selling a home, buying a home, and moving are anxiety producing. So having a letter from your bank indicating that you have the cash available to close a home at a certain price point is always prudent if you are a cash buyer. And if we don't use it to get access to look at a home, we certainly will need it when we make an offer. Okay, if financing, you need a local, well-respected mortgage company. Rocket Mortgage is not going to cut it. They are not a lending institution to realtors who have been presented with pre-approval letters from them in the past. They tend to offer pre-approval letters to more people than they should. You know, the lending market changes really fast. One day's criteria is thrown out the window the next day, and more reserves are needed, and whatever the case is, but it changes really quick. And even though I learn a ton from my mortgage brokers, I am not on the cutting edge of lending. And so my preference for our initial meeting is to have you, me, and a mortgage broker on the call, because at least half the questions regarding what we're going to look at, what our budget is, how we're going to finance it, etc., are answered by the mortgage broker, not me. And there are so many options available to solid borrowers. There are so many mortgage products out there that didn't exist before because of the low interest rates that are very affordable. And we should discuss these. And as far as selling your old home, it doesn't make any sense in this market to put it on the market until after you're in contract with your new home here. And ideally, until we get through the inspection negotiations for repairs. After that, it's pretty much autopilot. So please allow me to give you input when the appropriate time is to put your existing home on the market. Here's a big tip. Make your offer on your new home a non-contingent offer based on selling your old home. There are a ton of ways to bridge this gap. There are bridge loans of many kinds, and these are very affordable at this time with the low interest rates. We can even annuitize your retirement savings to qualify you for your new home without selling your old one. Many offers that are made in this market, I would say as many as 1/3 are contingent upon selling their old home. So there's 1/3 of the pack we can just eliminate by having your offer be non-contingent. It makes no sense to start looking at homes if you're not fully prepared to be a competitive buyer. So we want to get you ultimately approved with your information on income, credit, and debt run through underwriting, so that the only thing left is approving the home, making sure the home appraises for the amount that has been offered. You're going to get a letter of approval that is much improved on a typical letter, which says, based on needing to verify the information. No, we're going to get a letter that says the information's been verified by underwriting, which makes your offer stand out. Okay, let's talk about looking at homes. In this market, you cannot take days to weigh your decision as to whether you're going to make an offer or not. I'm not saying we need to make an offer on the first home you look at, but after looking at a half a dozen, you're probably going to know that this is a home you'd like to make an offer on. You know, we can always get out of an offer, and I don't want to give you the impression that I am telling you to take offers lightly. But until we get through the inspection period, which is at least 10 days, you can unilaterally exit an offer with no risk to your earnest money whatsoever. And from the time we make an offer until it is accepted in writing, we can inform the seller that we've changed our minds and we're just not going to go through with it. Because there is no contract until an offer is made and an offer is accepted. And I usually call the listing brokers and get as much information as I can. Do you have any offers right now? When are you going to look at offers? How many showings do you have? Etc. And through this process, I can usually get a fairly good handle on how urgent things are as far as making the offer. Another mistake that buyers make is looking at homes over their budget. If you're looking for a home at $700,000, it doesn't make any sense to look at homes that are $800,000 or $900,000, because most homes are selling for more than the asking price. So if you're looking at $700,000, we should be looking at $600,000 to $700,000, unless we feel that a home is just flat overpriced or it's been on the market for a while. There may be an opportunity to make an offer on a house that's over your budget that's been on the market for 20, 30, 40 days. Okay, that gets us to the point we're actually making the offer. The first offer will be the hardest. It's the hardest for me because I have to get all your information in there, contact information, name, address, telephone number, email address, and I have to do the same for the seller and for the listing broker. Most offers are in the range of 15 to 20 pages, and I feel the obligation to go over these offers with my clients fairly thoroughly, especially on the first offer, because I want them to be fully aware of what they're signing. But on subsequent offers, they're going to be familiar with the forms, and I'm going to have much of the information already input into a template. So I am able to write subsequent offers at about a third of the time that I write them than I write the original. And as well, you are going to be more comfortable with the paperwork. So you out-of-town buyers, it's most of you listening, after the initial tour of homes, if we don't find one to get into contract with, I'm going to have a really good idea of what you're looking for. After you go back home, I will continue to look for homes and preview them and send you video a lot more than we can get off the MLS. I have been known to help clients make offers sight unseen. And if you want to come up during the inspection period to give your final nod of approval, that's great. All the paperwork can be handled electronically. Escrow deposits can be made with wire transfers. And by the way, be really careful about wire transfers. We want to make sure that the money's going to where it really needs to go, and that there hasn't been any phishing on your email address, because there has been a couple cases in the Portland area where people lost over $100,000. But again, this is an area that myself and the escrow companies are very diligent on, and I believe that we have this solved. Don't just wire funds without speaking directly to the escrow officer. So in conclusion, keep your expectations in check. Don't get overly excited until you have a property actually in contract. And even then, until we get through the inspection negotiations, keep your expectations slightly guarded. We will paint you in the best possible light for the best possible outcome. You know, and at price points below $500,000, the market is tough. When we get over $1 million, the market is much relaxed. So the higher the home price, the easier it is for buyers. And I really do believe that relocation buyers need a team that is experienced in the relocation issues and has a team to make your buying experience joyful. And until the next video, I'll catch you later.